Aidan Lee, what's up, brother?
Not much, man. Chilling.
How you doing?
Good. Hanging.
Good.
Great little college setup.
Yeah,
If mine's missing, it's all right though.
for now, yeah.
No, we'll
Good
lock
things
in.
coming your way, yeah. Um, but yeah, talking with Aidan, because he has made some strides. I would say we've made some strides, over the last few months. But before we dive into that, tell whoever might be watching this, wherever I decide to repurpose it, um, tell them a little bit about yourself and who you are and where you're at.
Yeah. Geez, I mean, I started at USF, University of San Francisco, out of high school as a freshman. And honestly, like I don't think I realized like how important it is to like have like care and dedication and like really like I didn't have a grasp on how much it took to like stay healthy and be like a D1 pitcher. And it bit me in the ass because like I was my second collegiate outing. In February, I blew my elbow up. And so it was a full tear of the UCL, and then I fully fractured my olecranon too. So that was the first op I had, just doing the UCL, and then I had a plate put in. I don't know if you can see the scar; it's pretty gnarly, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, plate went in back there. And then I rehabbed that. Things were going good. I was getting kind of close to where I was before the first stop. And then just in a random bullpen, I felt a little pop again in the elbow. And I was like, that could have been the last bullpen I've thrown in my entire life. Like, that could be it. I could be done. So I got an MRI. There was no structural damage either, which honestly was probably the worst case scenario for that. When you feel something like that, you're like, this doesn't feel normal. I hope something's wrong right now. Like this can't be the new norm. And there wasn't. But we came to the conclusion just that throwing with a big piece of metal in your elbow was probably not the smartest idea. So they went in, took that out, put a little screw in instead. Just kind of coming off that, um, started throwing, and then my extension wasn't progressing how they wanted to. Obviously, I mean, I was locked last fall, probably right here was the
Mm-hmm.
farthest I could go. And I was trying to throw with that. God knows why, because I don't know what I was thinking, but obviously that didn't work. So I went and got another MRI, praying again, like something's got to be, like there has to be something blocking me. And sure enough, there was. I had like a crazy buildup of calcification back here, kind of along the tricep and the olecranon. And then I had multiple bone spurs in there too. So they went in, they took those out, and like right when I got the splint off after that third surgery, I already had more extension than I did before that third one. And then it really, I had that operation back in December of last year, and it really only took me 2 months to start throwing again. It was a quick turnaround. And then I ended up coming back last year in season. I go to Cal State Monterey Bay. It's a pretty small D2 in California. So I came back in season last year around like April, like first weekend of April, and things went well. The first outing was fun. I mean, I hadn't pitched in 2.5 years. Like, obviously, it was pretty crazy to be back. I don't even remember it, but I blacked out for sure. But I clean inning. It was cool. I K'd the first guy I faced. And then kind of that was like the peak of all that. And then from there, it was just like straight roller coaster drop downhill. Like those last 2 months of season sucked. Like I was spraying. I was probably like the most domed up I'd ever been in my entire career because like I had a new elbow. Like I had no idea like
Mm-hmm.
this was my norm, and like it just didn't feel how it felt pre-surgery, and I was like grasping that new reality. But yeah, and then I had like two summer ball outings, I think, before we started working together, and I was kind of finally starting to get like feel like myself again in those first two outings. I had no clue what my velo was at either in season because we didn't have radar guns for our games. So
Mm-hmm.
like I'd assume I was probably like 88 in that general range. It wasn't coming out very hot.
98. No.
Yeah. Well, fuck, that's loading, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was rough. That's kind of where I am now. And then healthy summer, healthy fall. This is the first fall I'll have since my freshman year. I'd never played summer ball either, just from injury. So it's just, I mean, it's good to be back. Like it's good to be playing again and like worrying about like mechanical stuff and not like making my arm go straight again. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah,
So I remember the first Zoom call we got on, because God blessed me with Devin Hayes, beautiful human. I love that guy to death. And he has a brand new, very fun opportunity. But he was like, "Hey, I think that you and this guy would mesh well." Um, I think we have to this
yeah.
point, I'd say. But that was probably what, June, I would say.
It was
Like,
June. Yeah, it was probably like end of June.
yeah,
Right?
so like end of June, went through the whole summer and stuff. And um, I mean, you at that point were what, mid 80s in pens?
Dude,
Was that always like a consistent thing for you?
oh, it was. I mean, before I got hurt, like I'd been up to like 94 in a pen.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like I think just throwing at a field where it was just like nobody was there and just
Yeah.
negative feeling like that definitely had something to do with it. But I mean, I couldn't get above like 87 in a pen when we started.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it was pretty bad. I hated throwing pens at that
Yeah.
point.
I like look back at those videos sometimes of you like ripping into the pocket radar like 83, 84. And I'm
Yeah.
like laughing. I'm like, if only you knew.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I mean, I put it all on you. You put the work in, not me. But what, what do you think was kind of like the tipping point, or not the tipping point, but like the turning point? And what do you think has been like the thing that maybe you haven't done in the past, or like the thing you've been exposed to for the first time this time around that's been like the big difference maker?
Yeah. Well, I think one glaring issue that we saw right away was like my upper body was just not strong, like one
Mhm.
bit. And it still isn't. My bench is so soft, but that's another story. So, but I mean, I think like right when we started just focusing on like meathead, like let's move some weight. Like I saw some quick jumps,
Mhm.
like just off the bat with that, which I mean, I couldn't like, I mean, you can't extend your elbow. Like it's kind of hard to bench. So like
Yeah.
when I was trying to bench, like during that time, like I would have like a 50 and I'd be like, I feel like my elbow's going to snap in half right now. So I
Mhm.
couldn't do anything, remotely like useful for my upper body.
Mhm.
So I think that played into it for sure. And then like I feel like the kind of the cue or like the little thing that we worked on was like the Josh Hader with like the lower half. I think that did something for me for sure.
Mhm.
Um, just kind of that thought of like I know Devin's got like the coil or clear type thing, and I think we
Mhm.
found out right away like coiling is like what's gonna make me throw harder for
Yeah.
sure. So I
Yeah.
think having that in that was towards the end of summer, I think. That 100% had something to do with the jump. So
Yeah. Hell yeah. Um, talk about the fall a little bit. Talk
yeah,
about like how things have been going, how you're feeling.
yeah. I mean, it's always good to get out there and not feel like you're gonna spray everywhere besides the strike zone. So that's
Hmm.
good. Um, but yeah, it's been good. You know, throwing live again, like in that like kind of like monitored scenario is like not something I've done. So it was kind of weird at first to have like a net and coaches back there and like I'm like working on stuff in these outings and like the goal isn't to survive anymore and like not get hurt. Like the goal is to, like I'm out here like trying to work on things.
Hmm.
I think like in season, like I was just like a deer in the headlights, like like scared something was gonna happen or like I don't know, you know what I mean? But like I
Hmm.
think now in the fall, just being able to like have that out of my head and just turn the head off and be like, I have one thing I'm gonna work on today, and like that's my focus, has been great. Um, and then just getting to compete with like guys on my team too. Like I totally missed that. Like that's such like
Hmm.
a normal like thing to say, but like it's been super fun to just like have rivalries with guys on your team that you see every day and you like can talk shit and stuff. Like it's cool to just be back doing that for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the fall's gone good. Um, keep climbing. It's almost done. We got like 2 weeks left
Yeah.
tomorrow. But yeah,
Pretty consistently, what, like 3 to 5, touching 6?
yeah. usually like the first inning when I'll come out, like we've been doing like 2 innings. I'll be like 4 to 5, touch six. And then I'll kind of settle in that second inning anywhere from like 2 to 5. So
Hmm.
5.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, the little gyro new pitch, like high eights that plays. Need
Oh
that.
yeah.
Keep coming
Oh yeah.
along. But yeah.
Hell yeah. It's awesome. It's awesome to see. Good video angles too. I don't know who's taking
Yeah.
videos for you guys, but
Our assistant pitching coach is back behind the screen with the iPad. He's locked in.
nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Shout out Levi. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Um, what have uh what have you enjoyed about the process? I mean, obviously, like it's good to be, you kind of touched on it just there, just like going out and competing and just like having relationships with your teammates again. I know that rehab can be isolating. But like what have overall you enjoyed about the experience, or like what has been good to kind of get back to?
Yeah. I think the most like rewarding thing is like seeing like all like the shitty stuff that you go through in rehab like pay off with like something as stupid as a number on a radar gun. But like that's what you're chasing, and like just like reaping the reward of that, like thinking back on like days where it was like dude, like I don't even think like I'm gonna throw like hard again. Like I might be done with baseball, you know?
Mhm.
So just having that is awesome. And I mean just pitching like in general, like pitching and feeling like I'm like good at this again, you know, is something that I miss so much.
Mhm.
Like just being out there and be like, I'm the guy like right now, like and it's good to be back. Like that feeling, like there's nothing that tops that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your tail starts wagging a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff, man. Well, it's been awesome to see the progress, and it's been a joy on my end. Um, there's obviously still a lot left in the tank, a lot of work that we still have to put in. But yeah, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for this weekend, and it's gonna be fun. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, man, appreciate you a ton. Um, appreciate you for doing this, and I'm grateful for you and the work that you put in. So,
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
of course.